What's up, my gnomies? We are back with episode 33 of Dour Gnome Adventures with Dimitri.
That's me? Yes, that's me.
And Brian. Matt.
Ada.
And Mark.
Hey.
And I am your GM, Ryan.
Are you really?
In this fictional land, I am, I guess.
How would we know?
I can be the voice in your head, the GM. Some people refer to me as God.
No, they don't.
Who?
Me?
You are your own God. I like that.
No. You're more like the adversary. The demiurge.
people.
Oh, yes.
Ooh. Damn people. Who's got a recap?
Bob.
I really have no idea.
I've been volunteered. Okay, we're standing in front of the large door in the sub basement level of the Rusthenge.
Didn't we find Elder Mom last session too?
Yes, we did. The session before that, we fought some exploding gem snakes. Then Bob got his face eaten.
A little bit.
Yes.
Then we took a nap and some of the face came back. Then we investigated the rest of the floor and found Elder Ordwy, Bob's adopted mother, barricaded in a chamber. We got her. We took her back into town. We debriefed.
Whoa.
Cinderspark, did you restock your lockpicks?
Yes.
There we go. And then we came back down, and there was only one direction to proceed through the giant 15-foot wide, I think. That's 3 squares or 10 feet, whatever. Giant double door, which looks even more giant to those of us who are of the small persuasion. We opened it, and that is where we stopped.
Yep.
We stopped, and there was the formation of missiles of force, like filling the doorway, and they launch forth.
I do not recall that, so I am upset.
That wasn't a thing. Nope. Yep.
See, if you had started with that, I think someone else would have done the recap for a hero point.
And these missiles shoot forth. Cinderspark, go ahead and give me a reflex save.
At least he gets a reflex save.
14.
14. Everybody else give me a reflex save, too, while you're at it.
Oh, crap. Okay.
As these missiles shoot into Cinderspark and the rest go around and they just start seeking out bodies.
I am nobody.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh.
I'm an expert at these. I've got a total of 22.
A 22, Bob. Okay. What do you have for Gog?
Expert.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. What about Borm?
25.
25. All right. Here is what happens. 25 and 22.
Yes.
You are going to take a little bit of damage.
How little is bit?
Wouldn't you like to know?
9 points.
Uh-oh.
I've been bit in the face.
And then Cinderspark, you were a 12?
No.
14.
I was
14.
12.
14. Or Cog was a 12. Both of you are going to take a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
Yay.
That is going to be 24 damages. Piercing.
For both of us?
Yes.
Okay. I'm at 0.
Oh, shit.
You keep forgetting that Vercog's unbreakable on the inside.
Now, I am literally at 0.
All right. So you are at dying 1.
Okay.
Are we going into initiative? Because this seems like Vercog needs food badly.
Yes.
Yes. We are going in to initiative.
More pointed question is, where did these come from?
They came from the doorway. They appeared as the door opened. Like they just manifested out of thin air.
It's a tarp.
So when I checked the door for traps several times, You lied to me, is what happened. I understand.
A little peek behind the curtain. I even wrote this down. DC was 20. I rolled an 18.
Mm-hmm. So you lied to me is what happened.
I mean, technically you lied to yourself. But if the GM is the voice in your head, yes.
Okay. Right.
Oh, the hymn of healing is automatically heightened.
Bob, what's your initiative?
I would have to roll it. Is it going to be perception?
Perception.
Okay.
Can I roll reflex instead? Since that's what we're all doing.
Well, my reflex is better than my perception, but I doubt that'll help.
I see how this session is going to go, as I have rolled 2 5s in a row.
What's your initiative?
What's it going to be?
Yeah.
I got a 6.
Ouch.
It would be 10 if you weren't automatically blinded by the fact that you're on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Vercog. What about Bob?
14.
What about Borm
23.
and Cinderspark?
24.
24. It looks like Cinderspark is going to be first to act.
Uh-huh.
How would you like to respond after getting pelted?
Brian, why are you asking this question like you don't know exactly what I'm about to do?
You're about to close the door.
Yes, I am. I'm going to close the door.
Okay.
And for my next trick, I would like to disable the door.
Would like to disable the door. Okay.
This is a bad door.
This is a bad door.
Thievery?
I would love a thievery.
Love it. Cool. Well, we are rolling shit. So I rolled a 4, so that's going to be a 12.
All right. You do not feel like you disabled it.
Okay.
I said you
Well, I'll
failed
try
to
again.
steal the door.
I wasn't trying to steal the door. I was trying to seal the door, but, we'll just kiss from a rose. We'll try again.
Okay.
And that's considerably better. So how does a 26 sound?
You believe that you have successfully disabled the device.
Good. Fuck you, door. All right, and I believe that's going to be it for me.
All right. Borm.
Where is Vercog in this room?
He is just
You
the other
don't
side
see
of the
him.
stairs.
Because you're around the corner.
Just around the riverbed.
I'm going to step over here, and I will lay on hands on Vercog.
Thank you.
It's 12 points of healing. And then remind me, Ryan, I'm sorry. So if I have my sword in 2 hands, if I wanted to grab a potion for my final action, is it an action to take your hand off of?
No, it's an action to regrip.
Okay, cool. Then I will take one hand off, grab a healing potion, and that's the end of my turn.
I just want to remind you that I think you're the one holding the healing wand. And that's like a once a day as opposed to a potion, which is a once ever.
Okay, I'll grab the wand.
Okay. Bob, what would you like to do?
Well, doors closed, no enemy visible. Vercog is back to Ver, because that was like half the damage you took. Okay. But clearly you could use a bit more, so I'm going to cast Hymn of Healing. So as far as the effect goes, right now you've got yourself 4 temporary hit points. That will last for a round. And at the end of your turn, you get 4 points back from fast healing.
Okay.
And I can sustain it for up to 4 rounds.
Okay.
That's 2 actions. And I just will cast Courageous Anthem.
Okay. Love that.
That's 3 actions. And this ends my turn.
Whatever shenanigans are being engaged in.
Yes, there are shenanigans happening behind the door.
Yeah.
Is Cinderspark also as injured as Vercog was?
Well, we took the same amount of damage.
Okay, all right. Now I could, in theory, sustain 2 of them at once, but then I'll be down to a single action.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Don't you need focus back?
It takes an action to sustain, and I have 3. So in theory, I can sustain, cast, and in the following round, sustain, do thing.
No, I thought it cost a focus point to cast that.
Oh, yes, it does, but I started with 3, so I'm now down to 2.
Where are we at, Ryan?
We are at Vercog.
Okay.
Pay no attention to the cursor behind the curtain.
Okay. I will pick up I dropped my light crystal when I went down. Ryan, how do I grab that?
I think just re-equip it in your...
Oh, okay. It said I lost my grip. I thought maybe I had dropped it. Well, I thought it was in my space. So, okay.
Yeah, you would have to pick it up.
Change carry type to held one hand. So that's one action. I will take another action to stand. And third action, I would like the Harbinger to be sitting next to me, sitting on my head. Wherever he is, I would like him to be near me.
Okay.
Please and thank you. And on that note, I pass to Cindy.
All right, Cinderspark.
Okay,
Well, 4 at the end of your turn.
Oh, pardon me. So I should get 4 back?
Yeah.
I am over half.
not entirely sure because this.
This seems like a perfect point to rethink your life choices and go home.
Oh, it's way past that point.
I mean, we just barred the only way deeper. So in theory, we could just go home.
You're not wrong. I don't know how barred it is, but we. I mean, look, if y'all want to leave, I'm fine with that. There's more Cinderspark on the floor than there is currently in Cinderspark. Well, I'm not opening the door again. That's a thing. So
Delay, ready,
I will delay
or sneak off into a corner and hide.
Not the worst idea in the world.
Actually, hold on. I'm going to be a goblin and crawl into this fucking tunnel.
All right, so you take off towards the tunnel in the south.
Mm-hmm. There. And yeah, hiding actually is not a bad idea. So.
All right. Cinderspark runs like a coward, like a dog.
Wow.
Tail between his legs.
You did.
Oh, you didn't.
You did.
Good night. I'm leaving.
Hiding in the rubble. And I guess that brings up Borm.
Borm is going to attempt to use the Wand of Healing on himself.
So wands, casting a spell from a wand contains a spell that can be cast once per day. Casting a spell from a wand requires holding the wand in one hand and activating the item with a cast a spell activity using the normal number of actions for the spell.
Yeah, and I just rolled it. So on a D8, I got a 3. So that'll be 3 points of healing for Borm.
Okay.
Fabulous. Good for Borm.
We'll never know if the healing potion that I initially meant to drink would have been higher, but... And then he's going to stow the Wand of Heal and then re-change his grip to two-handed. That'll be the end of his turn.
And this guy is going to kick open the doors.
Oh, dear.
And some readied actions are going to go off first. So this...
Wait, which door does he kick? With a single kick, he can open both of them?
Yeah, it would be the top door, I guess.
So I'd get cover then, right?
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Well,
Revealing the Bob.
which of the 3 in the middle kicked the door in?
It would be the top one.
Okay.
Open the door.
Does he have enough leverage from where he's standing
Yes.
to be able to do that?
Are we really going to do physics
So
here?
I'm going to do the middle one
Life stuff.
is its readied action is going to go off on Borm. Borm, you are going to get partial cover. That is not going to be enough with a 12 to hit. This one in the north is going to step. So open the door, step. That's 2 actions. And is going to make an attack at Bob.
Well, there I am.
That is an 18 to hit.
That's actually one lower than my AC. He misses.
That is 3 actions.
Love that.
And this cultist is going to spend an action to open the southern door.
Fabulous. Wonderful.
And is going to take a stab at Borm with a dagger. Natural 1.
Oh, I love that.
But we'll try one more here. That is a 15. Not going to get there. All right. Bob, how do you want to respond?
So, I got a question in terms of game mechanics. When a ready action goes off, does it move somebody in initiative?
No, not ready actions. Just delay. It's a ready action is a reaction.
Right. So that dude who swung at Borm and is standing in the middle of the door is still going to get to go. Okay. All right. So let me see what I've got. Wait, first things first. Sustain Hymn of Healing on Verkog. Because I spent an action, Verkog has 4 temp HP for 1 round. Action 1.
Okay.
Action 2 is Courageous Anthem. Courageous Anthem goes back up.
Fabulous. Love it.
You guys get +1 to attack and damage.
Love that.
Action 3, I'm going to check something. If you're an expert, you can fascinate up to 4 observers. It's Goblin Song. I'm being in some breastplates because you can affect up to 2 targets within range if you have expert proficiency in performance, which I do. So I am peeing in the breastplates of the one adjacent to me and the one in the middle. And I am also attempting to fascinate.
So you just whip it out right here in the middle of the dungeon, huh? And just start peeing?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Have you
So the Goblin Song specifically has a range of 30, but the Fascinating Performance does not. So, they're all within 30 anyway. So the front 2 are getting the I peed in your breastplate last night treatment, but all 4 of them are getting the Fascinate treatment. So now let's see how badly this perform roll goes. I am going to use a hero point.
Why?
So that it's not a natural one, okay? It's not a natural one.
Tiberius Omoldown and Co. How dare you?
It hasn't? You didn't see that, okay?
How dare
it's in chat. You see it in red, but it didn't happen. All right?
Okay.
That's what you get for trying to pee in 4 breastplates at the same time.
It's true. You can't split the streams like that.
I have.
It would be bad.
I have within me P of Kings.
I have no rival. No man can be my equal. Send me to the future. I'm reborn. Or I am.
There
born.
we go.
Yes.
So the reroll is actually a 28, which I am fairly hopeful is going to be a critical success.
Versus will DC?
Yes. On all 4 of them.
Yes.
Okay. So the 2 that I designated with breastplate peeing are suffering for 1 minute the effects of Goblin Song, -1 to perception and will. And all 4 of them are suffering for 1 round the effect of the Fascinating Performance. They get the Fascinated status because I critically succeeded. I do believe it will be broken if you attack them.
Did you just pull aggro?
I think I did.
It appears that he taunted, and he has all the hate.
Your Fascinating Performance is the will DC of 1 observer.
But if I'm an expert, I can fascinate up to 4.
Up to 4, yes. Okay, that's right. All right, there. Got to read the last line.
And you told me the exact thing you told me was, I'm going to hate that.
Yes.
So I'm delivering. So the fascinated condition is you're compelled to focus your attention on something, distracting you from whatever else is going on around you. You take a -2 status penalty to perception and skill checks, and you can't use concentrate actions unless they or their intended consequences are related to the subject of your fascination, as determined by the GM. For instance, you might be able to seek and recall knowledge about the subject, but you likely couldn't cast the spell targeting a different creature. The condition ends if a creature uses hostile actions against you or any of your allies. So yes, I've pulled aggro unless someone breaks it.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
Sucks for Bob.
Oh, it sure does. It sure does. Come on, show me how much it sucks. Oh, wait. That's 3 actions. I'm done. Now you get to show me how much it sucks.
Now I get to show you how much this sucks, huh? Okay. Oh, gosh. What do we want to do?
Well, whatever you do, it's got to be to me.
Mm-hmm. Changed what I was going to do, so...
So I'm catching all of it. Come on. Bring it.
Yeah. So I got to change what I'm doing. Let's do this. This creature in the back seems to be made of metal.
Ouch.
Looks very robotic in nature.
Are we talking
And
this guy right here?
yeah, that guy right there.
Oh, is he even affected by mental stuff?
That's a good question. Oh, no, is not affected by mental. Let's remove that.
So he's immune to fascinate?
Yes.
Okay, then he doesn't get the effect, but the cultists do.
But seeing that everybody is focused on you, it is still going to cast a spell at you. Hands begin to shimmer.
No.
And you see this blast of energy come at you. And I will need a basic will save.
Sure. That's rather basic. A total of 10.
Oh, no.
I'm glad you used the hero point on the perform check.
That is a critical failure.
Is this an auditory or visual effect?
I push into the target's mind and daze it with a mental jolt.
So, counter performance. Would that
Take
apply?
that would not.
Ah,
You take 8 points of mental damage, and you are stunned
Man.
1.
No.
yeah, I have one less
No.
action next round. That's fine.
Don't.
That's fine.
Do not
So,
like that.
well, neither do I.
And then I'm gonna cast shield on myself. All right, cultist number 2 here, right in the middle. This is the one that took the reaction at form.
But he's fascinated with me right now.
Yep. So it steps forward and takes a swing at Bob.
Probably
With a
muttering
dagger.
about the nonsense of being in breastplate.
Yeah, and something about rust and iron will be defeated.
If you pee in an iron breastplate, rust will defeat it. Yes.
17,
No, still too low.
and that is another 17.
Still too low.
That is all 3 of my actions for that one for Cog.
Okay. Okay.
Now that you have some of your hit points back,
I plan on engaging in some shenanigans. Okay. So, gonna move there. And I'm gonna play with something new. This is a vomit swarm.
Told you not to eat that stuff for cock.
I definitely should have eaten that stuff. Okay.
you were
Now-
eating out of the dumpster, weren't you?
Maybe. I refuse to confirm or deny that. So, make me some basic reflex saves, my guy.
Basic reflex.
I hit all of the enemies except the one right in front of Bob, because if I do that, I also hit Borm, and I'm not into that.
Basic reflex. The first one is a 13.
Misses.
The Second one is a 23.
Hits.
27.
2 of them make, 1 of them misses. Now, on a basic reflex save, it's all or nothing?
No, basic reflex is on a success is half damage.
Okay, so here's what we've got. 2d8 plus 1 is 9 points of damage.
This one will take 4 points of damage.
Actually, that's a 10. Because you rolled a 9, but the song
Yes, that's true. I apologize, but the damage is there, and Ryan will apply it.
Minus 5. Okay.
Now, Ryan, the one that failed is also now sickened 1.
All right, so the guy up front is sickened, the guy right in front of you.
Fabulous. We love that. And that is 2 actions. I'm going to take my third by going back over here. Pardon me. 1, 2. Is there a reaction?
There was not a reaction.
Okay. And at that point, I will take my fast healing 4.
Okay.
That is 3 actions. Cindy!
Cinderspark. You just saw Verkog retch.
Yeah.
By the way, I failed to describe this, and unfortunately, Verkog's jaw unhinges and kind of almost drops all the way to his chin, and out of his mouth come a mass of wasps, hornets, centipedes, pillbugs.
When did you eat the beehive?
I mean, I contain multitudes, Bob. Haven't we?
Yes, and now you're vomiting them out. Ew.
Don't touch. And then he just kind of pushes his jaw back into place as he moves back by the bird. That looks very, very interested in all the bugs it could be eating until they go away.
They are no longer fascinated.
Right.
They are all unfascinated, or just the guys I hit?
Yep, because whenever somebody takes a hostile action against one of your allies.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry about that.
It's all good.
They can now focus wherever they want.
Yep.
Probably better for Bob right now.
Well, I mean, they are still adjacent to Bob, so it might still be Bob.
In any case, there's still less of Cinderspark than there should be, so they are going to be drawing and drinking this healing potion.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little
How much
more than
healing you
half
get?
of what 13. Yeah, a little more than half of what it took. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so I can either come out of the tunnel, or I could not. I'm actually going to pull the oil of potency out of my bag.
Ooh.
Okay.
And that'll be the last action I got.
All right. Borm. There were a couple cultists, one west and one north of you.
Borm is going to stand and strike the one directly to my north.
Yeah, buddy. Put him down.
Trying to prevent them from going after Verkog. The first strike is 15 to hit.
15 is a miss.
Second is a 12.
Ooh.
And
Not off to a good
just
start.
try for... Hey, all right. Add a 20 on the final one.
All right.
That is with a +0.
+0, that is a success, which then bumps it to a critical success. Go ahead and give me double damage.
Oh, wow.
3 on the die for 14 points of damage.
And describe your kill.
Oh,
Go
hell
team.
yeah. Borm hits him or her. They're all her icons. Right in the clavicle. And takes her down. And that's the end of his turn.
Ouch. Okay.
Like, oh no, being cut in the clavicle with a greatsword, my only weakness.
No, being vomited on was also a weakness, because that was the one that failed to save.
The cultist right in front of Bob gets to go again. It is going to take an action to go into this frenzied-like condition.
Perhaps a rage.
No.
Darn.
Rage adjacent?
Fanatical frenzy is what this is called.
So, rage.
Oh, remember those rats? Remember the humanoid rats that swung 3 times and then
It is
got
kind of like rage,
winded?
I guess. Yeah. So, it is going to take a strike at Bob.
How unexpected.
A 20 to hit.
This does hit.
This does hit. That's not a lot of damage.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
That is 8 points of damage.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
That's 8 points less of Bob.
Exactly.
And for my third and final action, I'm going to take another strike at Bob. Natural 2. Not enough. Not enough to get there.
No, I doubt they have like plus 16.
Yeah, not these lame-ass cultists.
Well, not on like a follow-up. However, there's still more of them.
This lame-ass cultist is also going to take a frenzied action. And it is going to take a swing at Borm. Natural 20.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
You keep saying yes. I'm going to respectfully disagree with your assessment.
We are unleashing the fucking Kraken.
No.
Minimum damage. That is 14 points of damage.
Ugh.
That's minimum. How nice of you.
Borm is going to command him to kneel before him.
And he will refuse as he just witnessed you take a pretty good slice with that dagger.
He will then take some damage from my something that I'll get back to you on.
It was Iron Command, dude.
Iron Command. Yeah, no, sorry. It's buried in the obedience feat. I'm just trying to find the damage.
I say that's actually some kinky shit.
He takes 2 points of mental damage.
All right. He takes that damage.
You have to take it. You have to say it like that.
He's still got another attack, and he's going to swing at Borm one more time. That is a 19 to hit.
Yes.
Misses on the final. Bob Goblin.
Well, first of all, stun reduces my action by 1 and goes away. Second, I believe there's still 2 more rounds to sustain Verkog's healing. So I spent an action on that.
Thank you.
And Verkog gets 4. Sorry, because it's heightened now. 4 temp HP for 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that it leaves me with a single action. So if I don't save myself, I might just drop.
Then don't worry about...
No, I am courageously singing in the face of... Actually, hold on. I do have some spellcasting that will help me. I cast Shield.
I love that for you.
Okay.
It is not heightened because it's heightened +2. We're currently only at heightened +1 since we're level 3. But it does automatically raise my shield and gives me a reaction shield block if I should choose to take less damage. So that ends my turn. Sorry, guys, no Courageous Anthem this round.
All right. This thing here is going to move forward, is going to cast a spell, and as it reaches out its hands, you see this cone of vibrant, some might say dizzying colors.
No.
Some might.
Some might.
Which direction is it aimed and who is it hitting? Because I'm not sure the way we're positioned, it can catch all 3 of us.
Nope, cannot.
So is it skipping Borm?
It is skipping Borm. As it moved up all the way to the door. I will need
a will. Because Bob has that spell in his repertoire.
Yes, that is a will save from Bob, Verkog, and the Harbinger.
That's dirty pool.
Fucked up thing to do to a bird.
You said will, right?
Yes.
And I'll be re-rolling that.
Why? Why, Verkog? Why are you re-rolling?
Because I rolled a 1. And I would like to remind our listeners who may not be paying attention, I've rolled the dice 3 times this evening. I've rolled, in order, a 5, and a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Together, I have barely rolled average on a d20.
Math demands you roll more dice.
Matt, what does Verkog roll?
5. I would put these dice in dice jail, but they're dice so nice dice. I guess I'll just whatever's about to happen to me, I'll probably have time this round.
Okay. For that, there's a total of
12.
12. Okay. What about the Harbinger?
I knew.
Fuck you.
I
Fuck you. Again, for our listeners, I rolled a d20, and at this point rolled a 20. And adding up all my other dice rolls together, this session, it is still greater than every single other thing that I've rolled. Very
Good news
angry.
for you. That is a critical success for the Harbinger.
Fabulous.
This creature is unaffected.
That's great.
Bob, what was your total?
I have to scroll up through all of that Vercog nonsense. 21.
21 is a success. This creature is dazzled for 1 round.
I've opened that because it's in my spells. My eyes are overstimulated, or my vision is swimming. Vision is my only precise sense. All creatures and objects are concealed from you. So I've got concealed. Everybody else is concealed from me. So if I choose to attack anybody, it's going to be a DC 5 flat check, right?
Yes.
Yep.
For Cog, you're going to get a few conditions here. You are dazzled.
Go on.
That is for 1 minute. You are blinded, and you are stunned.
Blinded for 1 round, though.
Wait, was that a critical failure?
It was.
The DC was 22?
He got a 12 on the reroll.
Oh, I'll double check that.
Yeah,
And if
please.
it's
Oh, that is a regular failure.
Is I get 3 different conditions.
Yes.
But 2 of them are only for a round.
Okay.
Yes. That is correct.
Oh, boy.
So that brings us back to Vercog, who is blinded, stunned 1, and dazzled.
Well, blinded overrides dazzled, at least for now.
True. Look on the bright side.
Oh.
The bright side is all we can see.
Not for Cog.
I will cast shield. I need to roll a flat check to target anybody. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. So I'm going to roll a flat check to target the one to the north. The one here. I rolled a...
Well, at least...
I've rolled another 5, and I believe that is now the title of the episode. I've rolled a 5.
But your average is still like 4.9.
It really is. No, not with the 20. I think it goes up some, but not much.
Well,
The 20s the Harbingers.
Yeah, that was for the bird.
20 and the 1 cancel out. There are 4 5s.
Yeah. He makes a DC 19 will.
The guy in the north?
Yeah.
Ooh, a 16.
Total?
Yes.
Okay. He is shrouded in murky darkness. Bright light is dim light, and unless it has greater dark vision, all creatures are concealed to it.
All right, he will be rolling flat checks.
Fabulous. We love that for somebody else that's not me.
Everybody's rolling flat checks.
All right, Cinder Spark.
Before we move on, did you remember 4 points of healing?
No, I didn't.
Because it's scrolled up somewhere.
Okay. First things first, I will be applying the oil of potency to my little doggy slicer, which I don't know if that actually is going to apply it on the weapon. Does it? Don't think so. Don't know that it actually did. It used it from the inventory, but it's not applying the effect, if you can do that, Ryan.
You're putting it on your dog slicer?
Yes. Finish that'll last for a minute. This lasts for longer than a minute. We're kind of screwed anyway.
Would it be funny if I aimed Dizzying Colors back at this dude?
It would be amazing.
I would laugh.
Well, let's see if I survive to do anything.
In any case, while you're failing to put striking on my dog slicer, but I'm going to be moving. I'll move back to where I was, and then I'm stabbing something.
You said it's got a striking rune now?
Yeah, it's +1 striking. Oh, hold on, where's the oil? Yeah, it becomes a +1 striking weapon for 1 minute.
So I just did it in the...
Okay.
After combat, we'll have to remember to take it off.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, moving back over to where I was, And then there's a big honking dude standing right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use underhand. Oh, it's two actions. I can't do that. Okay. No, I'll stab the motherfucker then. Strike. Okay. 20.
20 is not enough to connect with your target, as it leaves sparks as it makes connection, but doesn't penetrate.
How curious. Well, that's it. I guess I'll die now. Go ahead, Borm.
Borm is going to take a swing at the cultists immediately to his west that had struck him previously in an attempt to get them out of the way.
The vengeance.
18 on the die for 27 to hit.
A 27 is going to be a critical hit.
Oh.
Because they're frenzied, remember? They're probably off guard.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Sorry. So I rolled just a regular hit. So that was a 5 on the die. I believe it's 2d12.
It just doubles the full dam. Yeah.
Oh, there's a double button. I could do that.
No,
I died.
no. No.
We give damage. We don't take damage.
All right. Well, they would have taken 16 points of damage, but apparently I did.
Can we get our Borum back up, please?
I thought I did that enough times for the entire party.
Nope.
Remember to regrip your greatsword.
All right. So go ahead and describe your kill, Borm. You pick yourself up off the ground.
Yeah.
You hit him so hard.
Borm falls like a possum in front of the person, and they're so shocked that happens that they keel over dead.
They just split in half on their own.
As Borm picks up his stuff, I will attempt to attack the robot-looking guy that is in front of Cinderspark for my second attack. It's a 13 on the die for 17 to hit.
17 is not enough to make contact.
Okay. And then for his third action, he will take a step. And that is the end of Borm's turn.
Okay.
You should remove the cultist, though.
Yeah, probably. Well, also from the inventory tracker.
Initiative.
Floating off of the... Yeah, well, we can put it in the inventory. Did I really misspeak, or was I just trying to take a corpse home?
I don't know. I'm constantly getting a user Dmitry does not have permission to do thing. So maybe I'm the one trying to take the cultists home.
The real treasure was the bodies we stole along the way.
Save that for the necromancy campaign.
All campaigns are necromancy campaigns if it's DPK.
It is the cultist in front of Bob.
Bob's cultist.
Yeah, Bob's cultist.
Cultist that's been attacking Bob. Cultist that hit Bob. Bob's cultist.
That cultist?
Bob's
Yes.
cultist. Mr. Bob Gobelina?
Mr. Bob.
I'm not singing it. I'm not.
I am. Don't know what your current squeamishness is all about. Mr. Goblin.
That is a 27 to hit.
That is... If all creatures and objects are concealed...
Oh, wait, I got it. That's actually my... I take that back. That is my flat check. That's a 19 on my flat check.
Why? Oh, yes. Yes, because you've got the shroud. Yes. Thank you, Vercog.
That was good on my part, because that's a natural one.
Yay! Thank you, Vercog.
We'll try it again. Flat check. 9. Come on.
9 in this case is German for yes.
Yeah, and that is a 16.
No. My AC is higher, and even though all creatures and objects are concealed from me, he would need to take an action to stealth in order to make me off guard, right?
Yes.
Right. So in that case, my AC is currently 20, thanks to the shield that I cast.
Nice. Okay. Let's just roll with it one more time. That's not going to get there.
Was that the flat check?
11. Oh, yeah, that was the flat check. That's an 11 for a flat check. Even worse on the roll.
Yay. Thank you, Vercog.
You're welcome.
All 3 of those missed Bob.
Well, shield goes away. Can't really see if Vercog needs more healing, but I'm not gonna sustain, because I think I need that action more.
Good, then do it.
First order of business is... Well, this dude's actually at minus... No, you guys moved up. I can't just throw cones around willy-nilly. So we're gonna do Courageous Anthem. We're gonna I'm dazzled for the round. We're gonna step into a flank. And dazzled means I have to roll a DC 5 flat check to swing at this dude. So I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I will beat the DC with a 17, and then I'm going to swing at him with the cold iron +1 cold iron light hammer. So let's see if this connects. Nope. That is a 2 for a total of 9, which is German for no. This will end my turn, but maybe Cinderspark will be able to capitalize on that next round.
I prefer lowercase.
Maybe Cinderspark will be able to serif on that next round.
Ooh.
Or do you prefer sans serif?
Listen, I don't prefer words. I think the robot should just give up and die.
Yeah, you would think that.
No, I'm just, if we're accepting suggestions.
Run out of battery power?
Mm-hmm.
It is going to cast a spell.
Oh, actually, I'm no longer dazzled.
It's going to do it from there. We will cast another spell, and you see these colored lights emanate from its hands.
Did you just want to make me feel included? Is that what's going on now, Ryan?
Guess it's a good thing that I decided to move out of there.
So let's target Bob, the cultist, and Cinderspark with some dizzying colors.
No.
I was hoping to not be included, but okay.
I don't think I have that on my list, so I don't know how this works. You'll have to tell us.
All right. I will need a will save.
I'm afraid you're going to say that. Well, I believe I will actually spend the hero point to re-roll the 1 that I rolled.
Man.
Again.
Everybody, I think, has rolled a 1 on the save.
Are you saying I'm not special?
Not anymore.
Certainly not.
Well, Elder Ordwe says I'm special.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't really very fucking helpful. Okay.
Might be able to do something about it.
What did you roll, Cinderspark?
Well, I re-rolled the 1 and I got a 3.
Well,
Okay.
Would you like me to counter performance that?
Can you?
It is a saving throw against an auditory or visual effect, right?
Yep. This is a visual effect.
So I can spend a focus point to, as a reaction, cast counter performance. Roll performance, and if that's higher, that becomes the will save.
Well, it's higher.
Really? By how much?
5 points.
Wow.
I got a 9, so
I don't know. Well, maybe 9 would have been a crit failure, and a 14 isn't. So
I'm sure a 9 is a crit failure.
Yes, the 9 would have been a crit failure.
Then I'm glad I've spent the focus point.
The 14 is a failure. Bob, what did you roll?
Let me scroll up. I got a 19 for myself.
19 is also a failure.
How nice.
And the cultist?
And the cultist is also failed. So,
how dizzying are these colors?
Everybody is dazzled.
Or whatever it is he's doing.
For 1 minute. All 3 of them. Stunned 1.
Are we?
And blinded for a round.
Blinded for a round.
So it was dizzying colors.
Yes.
Oh, how nice. It turns off the view of the map. Delightful.
Yeah. It's
As
not
you are
great.
blind. Blind. That is 2 actions. And it's going to take a swing with its halberd at Cinderspark. Since Cinderspark is blind.
Uh-huh.
That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, well, you're looking for a 20, so you can go home.
Even off guard?
Who's off guard? I have my advantage.
Okay. I see how that is.
Really? Because I don't. I'm blind.
For Cog.
Fabulous. Got some options here. But the first thing that we're going to do is order the Harbinger here to fly above the cultist's head. So the cultist is now, because of, I have a familiar of stalking night. So since the bad guy is concealed to him, he is currently frightened 1. So that's 1 action. Action number 2, I am going to cast Needle Darts at the cultist to the north. No, is there cover involved there?
Yeah.
Then switch it up. I will cast Phase Bolt, which eliminates 2 points of cover. But first, I will roll my 5 flat check, which is a 16. I'm good. And now we will roll to attack the cultist. At +9, I rolled a 4.
He's blind. Maybe he's off guard?
What's the total?
13.
Not quite enough to get to off guard AC.
Did not think so. Okay. That is the end of my turn. Truly an awe-inspiring... Wait, he was frightened 1. No, it would affect... you added it so it would affect him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. No problem. Okay. Cindy.
Hey.
All right, Cinder Spark.
Okay. So... Okay, so the stun has already taken an action and gone home. But I'm still blind. So I need a flat check to target the cult... Well, anything.
Yes, DC 11.
Is a 12.
At 12.
Well, love that for you.
So we will stab the cultist.
Okay.
Is a 17.
17 hits the cultist.
Who is also blinded?
Yes.
Okay, well.
And therefore off guard?
Mm-hmm.
Sneak.
15 points of damage.
And you can describe your kill. Not that you can see it.
I can't see it.
Kidney explosion.
It's just kind of just like, wait, where did he go? And like, oh, yep, that's blood on my face.
I can't see my face when I'm with
Yep. So that's 1 action. I didn't hear the big robot dude move, right?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to assume it's still there.
Stab this way.
Yes, I will stab that way.
All right, give me
Which
your
is
flat check.
Another flat check. Well, if that's a 4. So 4 is not 11. Last I checked.
No.
I think I'm going to walk this way. And you can...
Actually, stun took away one of your actions, remember?
Oh, no, you are correct. Yeah, I'm done then.
Orm.
Orm is going to take a step into flanking. Cinderspark, I assume, would flank, despite being blind, correct? He threatens. I'm sorry, they threaten?
I don't think that that's a concept anymore.
I think it is, but doesn't the blind go away after the round?
Yeah, the blind goes away.
All right, so then I'm going to take an attack. All right, that's an 18 on the die for a 27. And I forget, do I add +2 or +1, or do you just reduce the AC?
I just reduced the AC.
Okay. Is that a crit by chance?
It is not a crit.
Ooh.
That's dumb. 10 on the die, though. 13 points of damage.
You do not feel like all of that got through.
That's fine. The second one is a 12 to hit, which is a miss, I assume, and that will be the end of Borm's turn.
Okay, so I've lost stun. I am blind. I think there was a blood explosion in front of me, but I can't see it.
Not a corpse explosion.
I mean, I might be covered in blood and gore at the moment. I'm not sure, but I don't really need that if I just cast Courageous Anthem again.
Okay.
And then I cast Shield again. So I'm just in the corner, holding up this magic shield and going, you guys got this, right?
I think the shield holds itself up.
Well, I'm holding on to it then. And the blind goes away. So I can see again, and I see a bird in the middle of a corpse explosion. Just like...
God, I didn't realize I could turn people into birds.
Oh, no, I recognize the bird. But it's kind of like picking at intestines of an exploded cultist.
Clockwork thing.
How do clocks work?
Magnets.
Rock and roll.
I think it's rethinking its life choices.
Does it have life choices? If it's a clockwork machine, does it have a life and does it have choices?
There was an episode of Star Trek about this, wasn't there?
There have been episodes of a lot of things about this.
It is going to cast another spell as it points its finger at Borm, and these vines start flicking
No.
in the air. I need to roll.
Don't you know it's
Great.
rude to point?
Another staff polisher.
This is a spell attack. 19 versus AC.
Miss.
Miss. Of course. And that is a move and a 2-action spell. Arcog.
Okay, now that we have time to focus, where is he? Okay, I can get a good look at him. I would like to recall knowledge, please.
Sure thing. You will need to roll Arcana, Crafting, or an applicable lore.
Okay, Arcana and Crafting are the same, so Arcana it is. Hey, folks, I didn't roll a 5.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
It's a 5 + 1.
Sure it is.
That brings your 4.9 up to an average of 5.
But so is the result. It's a 5 and a 1.
Do I get anything?
You do not get anything on that.
Fabulous.
Dubious
I
9?
will.
No.
He is 35 feet away from me, so we will roll a flat check DC 5 and roll a 9. Wonderful. And I will... The ranges on these are not natural to me yet. Pardon. I will throw a needle darts at him, since there's nothing between me and him. So it will be a regular needle darts attack. That is a 20.
20 is not enough to hit.
Okay, cool. So that is 3 actions. A terribly unproductive turn for me. Cindy.
Okay, we will step into the room for the first time. Nice room.
Yes.
I would ask for a description, but I don't actually care. I'm actually focused on the thing. So we're going to move up and try to strike it. Unfortunately, move out of the stupid Courageous Anthem. Bob's in the corner. Bob, it's a 13.
Yes, because Bob's Courageous Anthem would have made all the difference.
You don't know?
13 is not enough to hit.
Well, we can try again, or we could not. But there's no real alternative, so I may as well try again.
What can we do to make him easier to hit?
Roll more than a 4.
Yes.
I rolled 4 twice in a row just now. Just
Anything you can do to debuff or buff yourselves? Debuff it or buff yourselves?
I did buff myself, and I keep rolling fucking 4s. So the whole key is to not roll like shit. I'm done. I'm dazzled anyway, so I would have failed the fucking flat checks.
All right, Borm.
Borm is going to... He doesn't have enough movement to get into flanking, but he will still attempt to move 20 feet and then take a swing. So 16 on the die for 25 to hit.
25 is going to be a hit.
I love that.
6 on the die for 9 points of damage.
All right, you do not feel like all of that got through.
A 22 to hit.
A 22 will still connect.
Okay.
12 points of damage.
Again, you don't feel like all of that went through.
That's the end of his turn.
Well, somebody requested Courageous Anthem, so I'm going to start moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as I can go with a single action. And I actually can step into the flank, so I'm gonna. And my third action is going to be Courageous Anthem.
Are you wearing metal armor?
Yes. Yes, I am.
All right. Everything from here on is difficult terrain.
Oh, it is? Then I don't think I can actually get there.
Should that not have applied to Borm then too?
It should have, but I missed it.
Too late.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that difficult terrain over there?
Where?
You see where Bob is right now on the map?
Yep.
Is that difficult terrain?
No.
So entering
Anything
the next
adjacent
phase-
to this is difficult terrain if you're wearing metal armor.
So I am wearing metal armor. If Bob takes another step forward to that spot, does that cost me 5 or 10?
5.
Okay, so that's a single action then? 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5. So then the first is 5. That makes it a 10.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is 10. That makes it a 15. Does
Yes.
it add 5?
Yes.
Okay, so then a total of 25 feet of movement lets me go that way.
Okay.
Okay, that's 2 25s and a courageous anthem. This ends Bob's turn.
This thing,
Hold on. What is making it difficult terrain?
it has this magnetic effect on it that is reversed.
Huh?
That's one of the spells that it cast.
Reverse polarity magnet.
And you are actually finding it a little bit more difficult to connect with it with metal weapons.
Which all of our weapons happen to be. How nice.
I can hit it with a stick.
You might have to. Oh, then needle darts is probably a bad choice too.
Yeah, I realized it after he said it.
It's going to move there. And we are going to cast Dizzying Colors again.
Really?
Find a new trick.
Why? This is a great trick.
So who gets caught in it? All three of us?
Nope, I still can't get Borm.
Okay. But the other two are rolling will saves?
Let's see if I do it from a different... Oh, yes, I can. I can get everybody from there.
Delightful.
All right. We will need some will saves from the three of you.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Sorry, that did include Borm, correct?
Yes, it does include Borm. Yeah, all three of you.
All right. Can you remind me who spoke up and said, "Oh, can't you get Borm?" It was 16 on the will save.
16, okay. Cinderspark?
All right. I am going to spend
17.
a focus point for Courageous Anthem reaction.
Okay.
Wait, no. The other thing.
Yeah.
On the performance.
Counter performance, yeah.
Right. That's the thing. So perform. Rolled off of a 19. Nope. Lower than what you guys did.
I think I'll keep the 17, thanks.
All right. So Cinderspark, you have a 17. Borm, you had a 16.
Yes.
And what about you, Bob?
23.
All right. 23 is a success. So you are dazzled for 1 round.
Already dazzled.
But
No but.
the other 2 are failures. You are stunned,
Yeah, I've already got it.
blinded, and dazzled.
I was already dazzled.
You just need stunned and blinded.
I got it.
Okay. That is my 3 actions, my move, and a 2-action spell. For Cog.
Okay. He is fabulous. Within 30 of me now. So, being the first. And I cast, I want to cast Phase Bolt, but the first thing that I will do is I will flat check. And I rolled a 3. Never mind.
All right. That's 2 actions.
Yep. I will attempt to shroud him. That's an 8. Sorry.
8 versus his will DC.
No, shroud. That was the flat check. Shroud of Night. His will DC 19 will.
9.
Fabulous. That is, gosh darn it, there is no critical effect. You guys are concealed to him.
Great.
So we're all going to be swinging wildly.
That is going to be awesome.
All right. Cinderspark.
All right. Well, I guess I'm making a flat check as I, again, flail around wildly. Well, that would be a 20, so that's definitely more than an 11. So I will take the opportunity to try to fucking stab at it. Yeah, again, the tactical thing is to roll higher, so that's an 18.
Yeah.
18 is not going to help you get there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You didn't roll a 4 again, did you?
No, I rolled an 8 to have one more action. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping over here.
All right, Borm.
Borm is going to pull a healing potion out of wherever he happens to be carrying it He gets 11 points of healing, which he will apply, and then he will return his hand to his sword. And that's the end of his turn.
That would have been, we needed 2 actions.
Oh.
On 1.
That's right. So I'm just single-handedly wielding a sword.
Yes.
Swinging it around myself.
All right.
If you'll give me an extra free action.
Bob.
The blinded goes away, correct?
Yes. After your turn, the blinded goes away.
All right, I'm kind of getting sick of this dude, so I'm gonna bring out the big gun.
Are you?
I do. I'm going to spend 3 actions to cast Force Barrage.
Ooh.
So it automatically hits, which means I don't need to roll for concealment or whatever. It deals a d4 plus 1 force damage, and each additional action I use when casting it increases the number of shards by 1 to a maximum of 3. So all 3 of them are going at this dude. The combined damage before applying bonuses or penalties to damage, resistances, weaknesses, and so forth. So I'm going to roll, and that is a total of 12 points of force damage to this dude.
All right. Looking like it's in rough shape.
To people who can see it.
Well, that's all 3 actions, so I'm actually done with that.
All right. It is this thing's turn.
No. At least it has to roll a flat check to do pretty much anything.
1 action. To move there. Close the door. 2
He
actions.
closed the door?
Who do you think you are?
Eat it.
What do you think you own this place? I mean, you do, but still. Not cool.
and then what happens, Ryan?
Channeling you.
Let's go. Let's halberd at Cinder Spark.
Sweet. Nimble dodge.
Unleash the fucking Kraken.
No.
That is a natural 20.
No.
Did you remember your flat check? Because that beats your flat check, not
It
AC.
does. It does beat my flat check. Let's do this again. 18.
It's not a 22.
Damn it.
Thank you,
Oh.
Vercog.
Yes.
If you could continue
All right.
sustaining that, that would be great.
I don't have line of sight, my guy.
Yeah, somebody close the fucking door. Okay, and that's it, yes?
That is it. All right, for Cog.
Move up. Open the stupid door. I expend an action to sustain it.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I do.
All right. Cinder Spark.
Cindy's going to step over here into the flank, probably fail the flat check as I attempt to stab at it. Nope, that's a 17, which, as last I checked, is higher than 5.
Okay.
Okay, and Dan is a 22.
22 is a hit.
And is it off guard?
No.
Oh, fine.
Oh, yeah, it would. Let me double check here, make sure.
Okay, well, look, it's only. Am I rolling sneak damage or not?
Yeah, you are rolling sneak damage.
Okay.
It is off guard.
Wonderful. Is in 14 damage.
14. Describe your kill.
Yes!
Thank fuck.
It had 9 points of damage and 5 points of resistance.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
shit.
You did just enough with your 14 points of damage.
I love that. I got nothing. I'm sorry.
I really want to know what got through the DR.
Probably a flat checks.
Yeah.
That probably would have helped.
Mm-hmm. That was needlessly complicated. But let's hold on. What's? Can we describe the room before we actually move on?
I kind of want to see what we went to the trouble.
Yeah, because there's a big honking statue on the far side up on top of what I presume is a raised dais. But yeah, I'd like a full description.
There also looks to be blood in front of this statue.
Yeah, I'm not sure by that.
Or rust.
A little bit. I mean, I hate to say it, they're both iron oxide based.
Por qué no los dos?
This vast chamber is bathed in a flickering blood red light. cast by 4 torches burning on the northern, southern, and eastern walls. The light illuminates 2 intricately carved columns depicting snarling demons that rise to the ceiling 30 feet above. To the west, stone stairs lead up to a dais covered in the brown stains of dried blood. 20-foot tall, rusted iron statue of a demonic horned creature looms on the dais, holding an oversized pickaxe in one hand and the head of a horned fiend in the other. One horn on the statue's head appears to be missing, with only a jagged stump remaining. Glowing red gemstones sit in eye sockets of the looming statue.
Does the missing horn look like it was snapped off, or that the statue was made this way?
It looks like it was removed.
Huh.
We didn't find anything like that, correct?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing, right, B.
Nope.
Okay, a couple of things. Do I recognize any of the iconography?
Oh, can the rest of us try recall knowledge on this dude now?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, not on the statue or on the
corpse.
Clockwork?
The corpse. I was looking at the Clockwork corpse. It was Arcana, right?
Yeah, hold on.
Or crafting.
Let's do one thing at a time here.
Okay.
All right, I'll wait.
You want to know about the iconography.
Oh, I accidentally pressed, then it's not going to be high enough anyway.
Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Gorham lore?
Not this time.
Goblin lore?
Not this time.
Zindash lore?
No. What do we
Well,
got?
I did not roll a 5.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
A 4 is not going to help you.
I think we
never
have
gonna
somebody who has better religion than the rest of us.
The Harbinger?
Yes, the bird. The bird's like, yeah, I know what that is.
Does
never asked.
Orm want to roll?
That character died. That's a 7. 2 on the die.
Ouch.
All right, fine. I have untrained improvisation. I can roll my religion at +1. That 13 is actually higher than both of your rolls, but it's still not good enough for anything.
Hold on here. Untrained, I have a 14.
So all of us together are piecing like, all right, so what's this dude's name?
I'll tell you a few things that it isn't.
Yeah, the iconography, the
I feel like we're missing out on so much lore.
yeah. What you can tell is somehow the iconography, the paintings, the etchings and whatnot are related to the statue.
Okay, I no longer care about that, and I'm going to go look for the Clockwork thing's pockets.
Did they build it with pockets?
But let's find out.
All right. Well, you go to rummage through the pockets of the cultists and of this clockwork thing, and we will find out what you pick up next week.
Great. It's probably some sort of a rust disease.
And there's a needle in the pocket.
Thank you for listening to Dour Gnome Adventures. If you enjoyed our show, check out our website, dourgnomeproductions.com, for links to our social media and Discord community. Also, don't forget to leave us a review on your podcast app of choice and share us with your friends who might enjoy our show. New episodes drop every Monday. Dour Gnome Productions uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Dour Gnome Productions is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. We are playing through the Pathfinder adventure Rusthenge by Vanessa Hoskins. Music and sound effects for this podcast by Michael Ghelfi Studios, Flip Melvin, and Kevin MacLeod. Dour Gnome Adventures is the property of Dour Gnome Productions.